Okay, well, I know I wasn't on the front lines in terms of medical professions go at the start of the pandemic or even up until now, but I was an essential worker. And I was out there on the front line working to deliver goods and services in a market capitalist economy to rich people and poor people and people having children. I think I delivered like $180 order right when the pandemic kicked off to like a 12-bedroom mansion with like this. It was insane. I started the pandemic in Dallas, just so you know. But this is just kind of like a vent session, just kind of get it off my chest, stuff that's been accumulating throughout the pandemic of shit I've seen. I mean, if you're really paying attention, there's not really a clear way that you can see all the things that I've seen or my generation has seen and not be fundamentally changed as a person. You know, world events shape you, whatever generation you're in. And I've mentioned this previously that, you know, I graduated into a recession. I saw us enter an 18-year plus war, then hit with COVID, and just the stuff that's transpired in between those events and during these large scale events, it's just been head rattling. And I just want to point to a few stories in particular. You know, this was all going on amidst a global pandemic. I mean, this is where we were at as a culture collectively. And I'm not even going to bring up climate change and what the future holds and how much worse it's going to be. I just want to take a second to reflect on the past 2 years, because at this point I'm boosted. I am really not afraid of coronavirus anymore. At most, I'll get a sore throat and a headache. I will continue to get boosted as soon as eligible. Concerning if you're not vaccinated, you know, again, it's your choice and build your own immunity. But look, if you come down with like a cold for 3 days and it fucks you up, that's your own fault. You know, that's your own doing. Sorry, but we got effective vaccines now. So just want to talk about the early days. Some of this is clearly 2020, but it bled into 2021. I mean, doesn't it seem like just the past 2 years have just kind of like been one long, strange trip? But I remember in the early days of it, man, I would see entire families out on the street, you know, from initial layoffs. It was brutal. It was just heinous to see people in luxury vehicles drive by entire families out on the street. It was like some Great Depression shit. It wasn't like this is the mightiest first world richest country in the world. No, it was like a third world fucking country. There were homeless, like children, kids. I remember seeing a mom, a dad, and two kids, and three, maybe two or three kids, and they were just like sitting, and the dad was like pleading, and cars were just driving by him. And Dallas, in a huge, you know, city of 1.28 million people in Dallas proper, more than that. And then just so many businesses closed. These won't ring a bell to you guys, but I mean, legendary places like the Anvil Pub, Lizard Lounge, so Italian restaurants, places where I like, you know, used to take girlfriends and like best friends. Like since all those places closed, the homelessness didn't stop. Just seeing continue till this day. I feel like it's gotten worse. In fact, since 2016, homelessness has been on the rise, and on any given day, there's 500,000 people homeless on the street. Myself feel like I'm included. We're 7 million units short of affordable housing in cities, in big cities across the U.S. So that's why everyone's clamoring for housing. I've seen just really nasty behavior. You know, I mean, this is not new. I know. Like in the 20s, you know, when there was inequality and depression and the flu, like during all that, there was rich people that have and the have-nots. It's just gotten so grotesque now and so obvious. And I just said this many times in videos, and I much prefer being out there working than sitting inside daddling away at a computer this whole time, working remotely. I would have slit my throat. Like, that would be so depressing. I don't know how you have to take antidepressants to wake up, go to a computer. No, I like to be free, and at any point, my job is like miraculous in that way. Is that, and I've been doing gig economy. I've been doing Grubhub for almost 4 years. People are shocked. It's like, yeah, well, jobs suck. and I can make my own schedule, and that's priceless. So I can do what I actually want to do. But point back to what I saw, I would see these homeless people, and I would deliver to mansions, and they would only tip me like $4 or $5. And then I remember one time I delivered to this guy my age. He looked about my age, maybe 29, about there, driving a Range Rover in Dallas. This was like in Irving, which is like next to Dallas, where the Cowboys Stadium. It doesn't matter. And I pull up to him, and he tips me like $2 or $3, like a fellow American, a fellow man, tips me like shit. And I'm like, look at him. I'm like, and I drove all this way and waited for him. Like little stories like that the entire way. They're like, wow, how do you not completely fucking lose faith in people? And I know this society, there is no society. It's just men and women. But you're supposed to work for society. You're supposed to work for, how can you work for when the message is there is no group and we're all just cogs in a wheel? It's just really, annoying, confusing, and capitalism, realism. But just the shit I saw, homelessness, it's just really sad and pathetic. 21-year-old girls around here driving like Mercedes, brand new Mercedes C-classes while there's homeless people everywhere, and we're headed into a climate apocalypse. Like, it's just like, millennials' minds have been fundamentally warped by the events that we've gone through. I think Gen Z is too young. They're just out there in the world and seeing it go to shit. But we've actually like lived it. We've actually lived it. And if you've gone through a divorce like I have, man, people poisoning. That's what it's called. I have been people poisoned. But yeah, I'm sure you guys, again, I'm just one singular story. The whole world got rocked. There was people in India and Thailand and way harsher places that, lost everything, living in little cottages, living in tiny little apartments, going to lockdown, starving. Like, there's so many, and the healthcare professional workers who just like were told in their face that, coronavirus isn't real while they're treating someone who's been infected. There's a lot of stories, and I know you guys have suffered, in your own ways too. I'm just reflecting on the things that I saw and getting them off my chest, kind of, that, yeah, it was disgusting. It was really disgusting, the vile behavior that in times of crisis, we unite and get together. No, I didn't see uniting and during this crisis. I saw division, inequality, billionaires get richer, and just a whole system seize up and unable to take care of itself, in addition to 14,000 servicemen being sent out and women being sent out to hospitals across the nation to take care of the Omicron surge right now. I mean, it's a complete failure of the system to adequately keep up with a crisis when it does occur. So what do I anticipate will happen is that, sadly, only 60% of the population is fully vaccinated. 30% of people have got their booster. That maybe it'll do like a flash pan effect of running through the whole world, thousands of people dying, every day in America, 500,000 cases reported in America nearly every day. Business as usual until everybody gets it. Everybody that is susceptible will die, and then it ends up like endemic, like the measles. It's there, but you get a vaccine for it, or you keep getting reinfected. In this case, other variants and what have you. But maybe that'll be later on. But man, those first 2 years, first 2020 was the shit that I saw is traumatizing, to your soul. And if you're even remotely paying attention, if you have your fucking eyes open, in America, it was disgusting. So again, yeah, you guys have your stories. Just want to get that off my chest that, I was on the front lines and I got rude people, and, I had no hesitation telling them that I'm an essential worker and this is not how you talk to somebody, especially during a crisis. Although I know the mortality rate is even around 1%, which is not as bad as, tuberculosis or any other, like all the other disease, the Spanish flu, several percentage points higher of people who died. They were like much worse. But the way that we handled this, collectively, socially, individually, on the government level, everything was laughable, was a complete joke. I think Fauci gave us an F or a C or something, a C minus. Yeah, we pretty much failed. Okay, hope y'all are alright. Just wanted to vlog about some shit I saw. Hope you guys understand where I come from. Thanks for being subscribers. Hope you like the content I've been posting lately. Yeah, it's pretty clear that you can stick a fork in it. We're toast. This is exponential, that's for sure. Okay, what's happening in the world on Monday? You know it. Have a happy new year. I don't even think I'll make it to midnight, but I'll try. 2022, here we come. Talk to you later. Bye.